Now, organic material. Let's look at different ways that you could add organic material. Hey, Broken Scepter, mulch. One of the big ones. Okay, now I've mentioned straw, I've mentioned wood chips. Um, you can use almost any broken down organic material as a mulch. Okay, I mentioned the cardboard boxes. Okay, I'm shredding them. You can shred paper, that's a carbon source. These are things you can use for mulch. You do not want to have bare soil. Bare soil, bad. Really, really bad. Okay, you want to have that soil covered so that not only can it retain the moisture, but if you're using a mulch, there's organic material for the biology to break down, to live in, to have their homes. Okay, they break that material down, they feed it into the biology that's in your plant, growing those cells, and resilient plant, because it's got the necessary materials. It's easier to feed plants to plants than it is to feed sand to the plant. Okay, the sand, silt, clay, those are your long term life in your soil, vibrancy in your soil. They're the base material for everything to be able to come together to grow and have the healthy plant, because you're giving a broad range of available substances in the sand, silt, clay, and organic material that may not be there. You may need one molecule, okay, of, let's say, selenium to make one particular cell healthy, to make it full, to reach its genetic potential. Your plants want to have healthy cells. They want to reach their full genetic potential. Yet we have this tendency to overlook the multitude of different materials that these plants need and the biology need. That one cell of selenium might be needed to create one type of biology, and that's the biology that mines, say, boron, which tomato plants, by the way, really need boron. Okay, but if we don't have that sand in there where it can go mine that boron out of that sand, it doesn't matter if you have the biology. It doesn't actually matter, because there's no place for it to go and mine to do its job. That's why having the whole basket of available, minerals, the available substances for the biology to use, to mine, to consume. Without that, what are you doing? You're not doing a service for your plants. You're doing a disservice for your plants. The more that we have everything available, the better off we're going to be. And that's in our bodies too. That's why eating a larger spectrum is going to give you more available materials for your body to be able to use. Just like, we know that if you eat carrots, you get beta carotene out of the carrots, and it's good for your eyes. There's all these different components that we now understand more and more are necessary for helping us build healthy cells in the human body. But then, is it in your carrot? When you eat that carrot, like back in the 1800s, that carrot was full of nutrition. Now if you look at the amount that's in there now, oh my gosh, guys, you would just shake your head and go, how did this happen? And it happened because we killed the biology in the soil. Now, I'm not against conventional farming per se. What I would say to any conventional farmer out there, if you're spraying herbicides and you're spraying pesticides, you're spraying these fertilizers, what you need to do after you've done that, after you've used that pesticide to get rid of, fungus gnats or whatever you're dealing with in your crop, go back over it with biology, because you have killed a massive amount of biology by using that spray. And you now need to go back into that field and add that biology, add that workforce back in, so that you know it can break down the material that's there to build more cells and healthier cells. You're going to get a much more vibrant, healthy crop, and more of a crop than you would if you just sprayed the chemicals, killed the biology, and it's got to restart. Because that's what's happening when we're spraying these materials. Hey, Shawnee, when we spray that and we kill all that biology, we knock it back to prehistoric times, it's going to come back. Yeah, sure, it is. It will grow your plant. It's not going to be enough there to grow a really healthy, vibrant plant, not a resilient plant, but it's going to grow a plant that's going to survive, or should survive, to get the crop off. But it's not going to have the resilience. It's not going to have the health, the nutrition. It's not going to have all the necessary substances in there that it should have or could have. So if you're conventional, you're using these things, go back in after and spray the biology back on. Get the biology fired back up. That's your work crew.